You just started your mission of leaning out and losing belly fat for summer. But just like every single year, you realize, dang, I'm 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in to getting lean, and all of a sudden, I'm not seeing any progress. Why is my belly fat still there? What exactly is going on? Is it my fault? Is it the diet's fault? Whose fault is it here? What is going on? What's missing? So there are four weird signs that happen when you are actually losing and burning that belly fat, but you just don't notice it yet. There's not a visible difference yet. This happens with my clients all the time, especially when they first start out. They'll be like, dude, how come I'm not losing this? Like, why is there no visible difference? How come I don't have a six pack yet? What's going on here? And there's a multitude of factors for that. First and foremost, you'll notice a variety of things that are going to change before the visible belly fat starts to come off. The first thing, your energy starts to change. When you are being consistent with the gym, when you are eating whole foods, you're getting your fruits in, you're getting your vegetables in, you're getting a good amount of protein in, you're properly fueled for your workouts, and you are consistently doing that, you start to notice a little bit of a difference in energy. My clients, especially the ones that are super busy, they'll notice like, hey, I actually feel more awake during the day. I don't feel as lethargic as I normally do coming home from work. A lot of them work physical jobs as well. Hey, dude, I actually am starting to notice work is becoming a little easier now. Why is that? What's going on? And there's a few different reasons for it. When you are staying consistent with your nutrition and with your activity level, you'll start to notice that your body, even though you're not noticing a visible difference, your body's starting to adapt to it. Things are starting to get easier. You're starting to have more energy to do more things. When you have muscle on you, this is one of the best forms of providing availability and capability to you to just do more. It provides you with a lot of energy. That muscle is burning more calories passively as well, and fat is doing the opposite. It's dragging you down. So you notice your energy starts to change, and you notice that you feel more awake during the day. You feel like you could do more. You feel like you could push harder. That's going to be the first thing that you notice changes. And this is usually a pretty quick change. You'll notice that the gym is making work easier, and work is making the gym easier. So it's a little bit of a twofold positive right there. Now, the next thing you'll start to notice is that your strength changes. Now, what exactly do I mean by this? Because not everybody out there cares about being strong or how strong they are, their numbers, that sort of thing. But what you will notice is that when you are consistent with this nutrition, with the proper fuel, with the workouts, you start to notice your numbers go up a little bit. You start to know, dang, I can curl that same weight for an extra rep than I did last time. Wow, I can do that bench press. I could put 5 more pounds on. Last time I wasn't even thinking of putting another 5 on. Now I'm gonna stack more on there. So you start to notice that your nervous system adapts over time. So even though same thing, you aren't seeing the visible difference of muscles, or maybe your gut hasn't gone down yet, you do have a change in your nervous system where your brain and your spinal cord are essentially signaling to you, yeah, I know how to do this. This is easy. This is no problem now. It's kind of like when you learn to jump rope for the first time. The first time it keeps getting caught, it hits your head, it catches on your feet, you're stumbling over it, you're tripping over it. And then when you practice a few times, you start to realize and get in your rhythm of like, oh, yeah, I can jump rope no problem now. Not an issue. And you get in your flow of things. Your body becomes adapted to it. It's like you're training your body and your nervous system to flow with it. And that's what's going on with the strength side of things here, is that even though you might not be noticing the muscle, your nervous system is starting to adapt to the weights that you are pushing and to the movements that you are doing. So same thing here. That's going to be huge for packing on muscle, which will help you in the long run burn belly fat. So as you're packing on muscle, you start to realize, wow, I have a lot more energy than I did previously. I can move better than what I was doing previously. That's step one. Step two, you start to notice, wow, my numbers are going up in the gym. I notice this is becoming easier. I notice that when I walk up that flight of steps, I'm not sucking wind as hard anymore. This thing is starting to feel like a lower barrier of entry for me. And then you start to notice your day-to-day tasks get easier too. Maybe when you're folding laundry or vacuuming, you don't feel your shoulders burning as much. That sort of thing. So first your energy, then your strength starts to change. And then what you'll notice is as you start to lean out, you typically will lean out top to bottom front to back. So what do I mean by this? A lot of times you'll notice maybe your jawline and your face fat start to get lost first. So you're losing facial fat. Maybe you'll notice you can see your collarbone a little bit easier. Maybe your chest is getting more defined. Your shoulders are getting more defined. Your arms are leaning out. You'll start to notice that as you go down the body, you tend to see more fat and notice more fat, including in the gut, meaning we haven't gotten all the way down there yet. And what you'll notice with that is when you are staying consistent with all these things, you're like, yeah, my face is losing fat, but it's this stubborn gut. The stubborn gut's going on. And what you'll notice on top of that too is that sometimes when you're looking in the mirror, you might have like love handle fat as well. When you're looking in the mirror, it looks like it's part of your gut, but it's really just because you're rounded out. And when you are starting to chisel out up top, maybe in your jawline, maybe in your arms, maybe in your shoulders, and your gut is still there, it's not that you're necessarily doing things wrong, because it's not like we could spot reduce fat, where it's not like I'm saying, hey, we're going to eat the foods that burn just the belly fat. That doesn't exist. And if someone says it exists, freaking run, go the other way. So as far as losing the belly fat goes, other things are going to hit first. A lot of people hold fat in different areas. Some of my clients, they hold it all in the gut. Some of them hold it all in their legs. That sort of thing. So you have to let the process do its work. You have to continue to focus on your inputs so that the outputs start to come later on. And the fourth thing that you want to think about is the other factors going on that aren't necessarily just visible. Your numeric data, how clothes are fitting. So there's a few different things we can look at here. One, is the scale dropping? Do you notice week to week the scale is going down? Month to month the scale is going down. Day to day and hour to hour, your body weight is going to fluctuate a whole bunch. At the start of the day, you'll notice you're going to be so much lighter. And then at the end of the day, when you've eaten a bunch of food, drank a bunch of water, you have a bunch of things going on, you'll notice your body weight's a lot higher. And then when you go back to sleep, you wake up in the morning, you have a bowel movement, yes, you're going to be light again. So hour to hour and day to day, your body weight's going to look like this. It's going to look like a zigzag if you're tracking it. The problem is when that continues to look like a zigzag month to month, that is too long of a period, meaning you need to try something either harder or switch something up. So you want to look at the scale weight week to week, month to month. That's going to be the first part that you can notice. That's the easiest number to tell because it's a specific number. On top of that, even though you might not see the visible changes in your gut, you can also measure your waist. What I like to do is I like to measure at the belly button. So I'm wrapping at the belly button, wrapping it around me, and then I'm making sure I'm not pinching the tape measure to squeeze my stomach in, but I'm also not letting it loose, like hang loose around. Like you want it to be firmly wrapped around you, but you're not squeezing in and you're not hanging it so loose to where you're getting an inaccurate measurement. If you measure at the belly button, I just noticed it's the easiest way to do it each time. And that way you have consistent results, even if technically the measurement is a quarter of an inch off. Doesn't necessarily matter. The goal is the progress. Same thing with the scale. You want to make sure you are at least progressing in the right direction. One thing a lot of my clients will notice too, and some of them have even like, jokingly cursed me out. Hey, bro, I just had to buy a whole new freaking wardrobe of stuff. Why do I need 3 new pairs of pants now? Because I can't fit into my old ones because they're just falling down on me all the time. That is a phenomenal sign. That is a super underrated sign that you are actually burning belly fat. If you're having to use like the next belt hole, for example, one of my recent clients, Armando, 45-year-old guy, he's like, dude, I had to poke another hole through my belt because it can't go tight enough anymore when I'm at work. That's a phenomenal sign. Yes, is it annoying? Do my clients hate me for it? Yes, that's just how it is. But that is a perfect way to look for it when you are not seeing the visible difference. Because you have to remember, you are looking at yourself in the mirror every single day. You notice what you look like. It's all the same to you. It's kind of like the scale, right? If we just if we check our weight every hour of the day, you're not going to see much of a difference. You're going to see a little bit of a zigzag. Some days when you're looking in the mirror, you're going to be like, wow, I think I look the same. Do I have like maybe a new cut right here? Maybe a new vein on the arm? Do I look leaner in the face? It's so much harder to tell visibly, especially if this is something new to you, and especially if this is your first time getting lean. So there's a variety of factors you want to look for, and there's a variety of things you have to pay attention to over time. But these are some of the things that you can pay attention to that aren't necessarily directly related to you looking at your gut in the mirror. So as far as everything goes, you'll notice your energy changes first. You start to have more energy. Work becomes easier. The gym becomes easier. Day-to-day life and tasks become easier. Second, you'll notice your strength starts to shoot up. You start to get stronger with certain lifts. Other movements become easier. You can push yourself a little bit harder than you did last time. Third, you'll lose fat, typically top to bottom, front to back. Other things on you are going to get lean first. That's just how it is. Jawline, arms, shoulders, clavicular area, that sort of thing. And then you'll start to notice as the fourth one, there are other metrics you can track other than visibly looking at your belly fat. The scale over a long period of time is a great way of doing it. Week to week, month to month, like I said. Then your pants, how your clothes are fitting. Is your shirt becoming a little bit looser? Do you need to poke another hole through your belt at work? That sort of thing. You see yourself every day. You might not notice a difference right off the bat, but if you stay consistent with it, you can actually start to pay attention to these other things. And that way you're at least accumulating wins over time as opposed to just looking at the long end term goal. Because when you're just looking at that goal and you see you're not there yet, it's so much harder to stay motivated and so much harder to keep progressing. But when you start to hit these little progress, these little milestones along the way, that progress, that goal comes so much closer and it's so much easier to actually get there. So pay attention to these smaller, weirder things as you're continuing to lose belly fat, and realize that when you are staying consistent with everything, that is going to be king. You cannot give up 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks in. Sometimes even 10 weeks in, you can't give up. You have to keep progressing. You push a little bit harder, work a little bit smarter, build a little more structure out. It does get easier over time, but most people stop before it actually gets easier. And that's where I don't want you to fail. So if you are working on losing your belly fat, whether it's for the first time or the 100th time, like some of my clients, feel free to fill out the one-on-one coaching application in my bio down below. Let me in on your goals, what exactly you're trying to do, and I'll see if I can help you out, okay? I'll reach out to you. In the meantime, if you found any value in this video, please be sure to drop a like down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.